Hello and welcome to my review of the Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine issue 48. Okay, further along in the review I realised that I forgot to mention the price, so I'll insert this right at the beginning. You can't buy these bikes separately. You can only buy them in a pack of 3, and they are just these 3 sprues. They are just 3 bikes for £22.50, which I think is pretty expensive. They used to be about £17 or £15 for 3, and one of them had, you had lots of options in that set. For a melter gun, it had a power sword in there, all kinds of manner of things. £22.50, I think that they're vastly overpriced for what you're getting. I really do, and Games Workshop need to either improve this box or just create new sculpts for the bikes. What I will say though is you get 2, and in a magazine that costs £7.99, if you do the math, it works out about £7 each, so yeah, you're getting your money's worth. However, issue 53 comes with 1 bike, so it's still an okay deal. You're still making money, but only just. So you can take it that all these 3 bikes are costing you £16 instead of £22.50, so you're saving £6.50, which is still a bit of a saving even if you got a discount somewhere. So for the 2 issues and the 3 bikes, it's still a saving. Let's carry on with the rest of the review. Now, in the past few videos of these Conquest reviews, I've had a couple of comments from you guys trying to understand the sort of time frame between the unboxings and reviews. Well, I'll tell you right now, the unboxings and first looks at all these Conquest issues happen the day I get them, which can be many months ago, maybe even a year ago, either way, a long time ago. And then once I've built the models, which again could be months later, I'll then do the review. But I make sure to have the first look on one day and the review of the magazine the day after. And I think that works out the best way. Yes, you're not getting the first look straight away as soon as the magazine drops, but then again, I decided to do that because I was a little bit late to the party getting a subscription to Conquest, because I was sitting on the fence in terms of whether for me it was worth it, because there's a lot of duplicate models that I already own, and many issues just contain paints, and some issues that do contain models just aren't worth it. This issue is worth it straight away. Issue 53, which is, you know, in 5 more issues, that only includes 1 bike, and that issue isn't worth it. Of course, if you've got a subscription, unfortunately you can't opt out of certain issues that you like. You're in it for the long ride, really, unless you want to just cancel your subscription straight away. But I thought I'd just explain sort of the timing of the unboxings and but I thought I owe it to you to explain the timing of the unboxings and first looks and their subsequent reviews. Let's get into it then. So issue 48, it includes this magazine and 2 bikes. I haven't done any of the mold lines at all, I don't think. No, I haven't even drilled the holes out. I'll get round to that. They're not my priority at the moment. My priority are all the new releases, like the Adeptus Titanica stuff and the Sisters of Battle. And when this virus goes away, yeah, you can tell when I'm recording this now, then Games Workshop will be open for business and you'll be able to buy models and things. Furthermore, some of you are asking how I'm getting hold of the models and things. Well, some of these videos are quite old. All the Sisters of Battle models came out before the virus, like the weekend before, so I was lucky enough to get all of them and be able to do reviews. If I went on the internet now, I don't think I could probably order any, but the virus will eventually end and we'll be back to being able to buy all the new releases. Really looking forward to the models that they've got coming, the Forge World Word Bearers, Praetors, the exclusive Sisters of Battle Seraphim Mini, Stern, and even the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Lumineth Realm Lords. Thank you to all of you Patreon supporters and every one of you that buys the models from Element Games using the affiliate link below. You've made that possible. I'm able to get those models and do all the unboxings and reviews for you. Even if you don't have an inkling towards Age of Sigmar, it's still the newest models that Games Workshop are coming out with. From a fellow hobbyist that appreciates models, you know, it'd be interesting to look at them. Anyway, I blather on more than blathers, so I will review this issue and look at the bikes, do some size comparisons as always, and go through their rules. So, starts off, yay, brilliant, with Space Marine bikes, incredible speed of their vehicles, and they are quite fast, to be honest. They're, what, I think the same speed, if not, I think they are about the same speed as a land speeder, which is, yeah, amazing, for like an all-terrain bike. Of course, being a motorcyclist myself, I do question the, you know, the designs and everything. They look more like a Harley Davidson. They've got these massive wheels as well. The engine doesn't look huge, but I'm looking at it from a point of view of the combustion engine rather than actually, you know, in the 41st millennium. But hey, in the 41st millennium, they still have guns and bullets and tyres. So, but yeah, the engine is probably, I don't know, some kind of plasma fuel reactor thing, so, and it would have to be extremely powerful to be propelling this very heavy Space Marine, this 7 foot tall superhuman with ceramite power armor. Let's face it, the suspension on this must be, yeah, off the charts. Talk about magic carpet suspension with the air suspension. Anyway, moving away from motorbikes, you've got Space Marine bike squads, you've got White Scars, Dark Angels and Space Wolves. I think if you think of fast attack and bikes, you do think of the Raven Wing, and you do think of the White Scars more than other chapters. You've got Forces of Chaos, Dark Imperium, you've got Deadly Pursuit, a little bit of fiction there about bikes and some more, and then how to build them. They're both exactly the same. You're gonna have no issues. The only issue you're gonna have is the mold lines on them, because they're old models. They're over 20 years old now, easily, probably 25 or so. Yeah, the kit itself, the mold lines are not very good, and if you've seen the unboxing yesterday, then you'll see that there's big gaps in the sprues. Can you imagine the detail that they'll put on bikes if they were to create a new kit? We've already seen what GW are capable of in the Genestealer Occult Army with their bikes, and the Atalan Jackals, and this is how they paint them. You've got optional paint scheme for the Sergeant's helmet. Sergeants usually have a red helmet, basically signalling to the enemy, shoot me first. Yeah, you've got examples there. So you've got a little command reroll Hellish Highway mission, and then you've got the Bite Squad rules. I will say that these rules are out of date compared to the brand new codex that came out last year, 2019, in September. The difference mainly is that the leadership for the Space Marine biker is an 8, whereas in the codex it's dropped to a 7. That's the same for the attack bike, and that kind of makes sense, but there are 2 of them fighting as a unit. I would have liked to have seen them have a leadership of 8, but you know, it is what it is. Also, the points cost as well has changed in the codex. They are a power points cost of a 4 instead of a 5. So there you go, and then you just got these pages. This is, you know, to add to your gaming map. And then there's a look at the next 2 issues. Unfortunately, issue 49 will be a first look and review all in one. It has 3 paints. Ogre and Camo is quite nice, and Dawnstone's good for your highlighting of your black. And obviously, yeah, Calgar Blue for your, you know, Ultramarine Blue. And then you get 10 Chaos Cultists. They only show 5 there, but you do get 10. So we'll do a first look and review of that magazine in 2 issues. I'm going to try and get issue 49 out very soon. I may even put 49 and 50 in 1 week to have 3 videos. We'll see, because the Sisters of Battle releases are slowly running out. We've got through quite a lot of Sisters of Battle videos recently, and it's time for Conquest to catch up. So let's have a look at the models themselves then. As I say, they're both exactly the same. They are quite posable though, in the sense that if you've got any grey spare parts, which most of us have if you collect Space Marines, there's nothing stopping you from taking his right arm off and putting a gun on there, or even a left arm. I'm not sure what the mechanism is for the throttle here, whether it's ride by wire, whether it's just a button, whether it's whether they just have to command the bike, whether it's got an interface with his suit. He just commands it to go a bit faster, or I don't know what's going on. But what I will say is they are customizable in terms of you can change the torso with other Space Marines, change the power plant, change the helmet even, and the head, and the arms and the shoulder pauldrons. So it gives you a fair amount of customization there. What I would suggest doing is, drilling out the holes of the bolters, and also drilling out the holes of the exhausts. If you can get them central, that is hard. If you can make a slight mark with a line down and then across, then you'll find the true center, and then it's just a case of using your pin vise. That's probably what I would recommend doing to get that center. But that's one of them, and then this is the second one. I've glued it. It's a bit tricky to glue it at an angle like this, but I think it looks cool. I've got a couple that I've just glued the back wheel and not glued the wheel, so I can have him in a wheelie or not in a wheelie, but he's still onto the base, if that makes sense. But yeah, you glue them in a different position if you like, rather than them all look exactly like that. I think variety is great to set them apart when they all look the same in the power armor. So yeah, that's what I've done with these two. Very straightforward. You can see the mold lines which I've left, which I don't like doing, but I'll get round to filing them off at some point. It's just to speed at getting all of these videos out at the moment. So let's have some size comparisons then. I do have the aforementioned Genestealer Cult bike. So here we go. This just gives you an idea that Space Marines are still pretty massive. So Genestealer Cult on a smaller oval base. This is like a dirt bike type thing. It looks incredible. He's got the super shotgun from Doom. I think I bodged up the holes there as well, but well, never mind. So yeah, look at the detail really is this example, and the size more than anything. I think these bikes are so cool, and I'm so pleased that we got them for Genestealer Cults. I'm definitely going to pick up a second pack at some point, because they're not too badly priced as well. So yeah, that's just a little size comparison I wanted to make with the Genestealer Cult bike, just to give you an idea if you've never seen a Genestealer Cult bike before, or if you've never seen a Space Marine bike before, but I'm sure you have. So compared to normal Space Marines, well, normal Space Marine is pretty much a little bit smaller height-wise than a Space Marine on a bike. And then compared to the Primaris is about the same height actually. So yeah, hope those size comparisons help. Okay, so this is my part of where I will go through all of the rules for the Space Marine bike squad. You'll find them in your brand new Space Marine Codex that came out in September 2019. They are the first fast attack choice in the fast attack section. Not sure why, because then the codex moves on to assault squads quite quickly, and the other jump pack troops, before returning to scout bite squad, then going off on a tangent to land speeders, and then attack bite squad. I would have just liked the codex to be in order. So we have a scout bite squad, and then attack bite squad. Let's face it, that's a better order. And it makes it much easier if you want to form a biker army or a biker chapter or whatever. Anyway, let's go to... Anyway, as I mentioned earlier in the review, their power points cost is a 4, and their points cost is 21 points per model. Attack bikes are 25 points. You can have... the models per unit is between 3 and 9. So yes, this particular unit is, I say, illegal. No, it's not really legal for you to use with 2 bikers. But fear not, you do get your 3rd bike in issue 53 that brings it up to a legal bike squad. Now, their stat line reads, their movement speed is 14 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill both 3+, strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, 1 attack, leadership 7 and a save of 3+. The sergeant has the same stat line but has 2 attacks and a better leadership at 8, and the attack bike has 4 wounds, 2 attacks, but the same leadership and save. It used to be that attack bikes had a 2+ save, and a 2+ save with a toughness 5 was very decent. But since they changed all of this and brought in wounds, it's nice to see attack bikes having 4 wounds. It's good that bikes have 2 wounds anyway, considering that normal Space Marines have 1. So that bike itself is giving you an extra toughness for your Space Marine and an extra wound. Makes them quite survivable. Even for a squad of 3, you're looking at 6 wounds there, which I think a lot of people kind of overlook. They see a bike squad and they go, oh yeah, bikes, well that's just an extra toughness. But actually now, you're getting an extra wound there too. So if you've got 5 of them, then you've got 10 wounds. I'll carry on. This unit contains 1 biker sergeant and 2 Space Marine bikers. It can additionally contain up to 3 Space Marine bikers, power rating of +3, or up to 5 Space Marine bikers, power rating of +5. It can additionally contain 1 attack bike. So in your bike squad, you can have 1 attack bike. So the way I'm reading that is you get 8 normal bikes and then your attack bike. Bearing in mind you can take an attack bike on its own. You can have up to 3 of them in a squad. So the biker sergeant and every Space Marine biker is equipped with bolt pistol, twin bolt gun, frag grenades, crack grenades. The attack bike is equipped with bolt pistol, heavy bolter, twin bolt gun, frag grenades and crack grenades. So all the bolt gun weapons work as usual, you know, on the heavy bolt. The attack bike can be equipped with a multi-melter instead of a heavy bolter. That's quite a decent choice because it's a 24-inch heavy 1, strength 8, AP -4 and a damage D6 weapon. But the crack grenades and frag grenades all work the same. The twin bolt gun, which you might not be familiar with, is a 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, strength 4, damage 1 weapon. So all you're getting is rapid fire 2 instead of rapid fire 1 off of the normal one. The Space Marine sergeant can be equipped with 1 weapon from the sergeant weapons list instead of 1 bolt pistol, and any Space Marine biker can be equipped with 1 chainsword instead of 1 bolt pistol. Up to 2 Space Marine bikers can be equipped with 1 weapon from the special weapons list instead of 1 bolt pistol. Now that is one of the key things in this. You don't get special weapons in the box that you buy, but if you've got any laying around, like a melter gun or a plasma gun, that would be quite cool. It says up to 2, so you can have 2 of those bikers with a plasma gun or a melter gun instead of that bolt pistol, and that's worth doing even though it's a bit pricey. And as mentioned earlier, the attack bike can be equipped with 1 multi-melter instead of 1 heavy bolter. Abilities: Angels of Death, turbo boost. When this unit advances, add 6 inches to the move characteristic of its models until the end of the movement phase instead of making an advance roll. And then combat squads. If this unit contains 6 or more models, then during deployment, before any units have been set up, it can be divided into 2 units containing as equal a number of models as possible. So there you go. So you can, if you've got 6 or more, you can split them in 2. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, biker, bike squad. So there you go, that is my exhaustive review of the Warhammer Conquest issue 48 and an in-depth look at the Space Marine bike squad. I do think that they are a useful unit. The toughness 5 and 2 wounds is not something to be overlooked, and if you equip them with some special weapons, they can burst out of nowhere at the 14 inches and melt tanks, take out high toughness units, and be a real thorn in your enemy's side. What do you guys think of the models and the rules? Do you agree with me that the bikes are in dire need of a refresh and an update? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.